Hey, welcome to Playing for Keeps, the show where we take a deep dive into emotional intelligence, sex, love, adult attachment theory, mental health, therapy, and everything in between that creates great relationships. Your host, DJ, is a certified life coach and emotional intelligence practitioner. She's here to be of service to all the listeners interested in love and relationship. Now, here's your host, DJ.
Hey everybody, it's your girl DJ with Playing for Keeps podcast, and today I have a special guest for our Dating Chronicles episode. We're here again with another episode. We have Renee here. How are you, Renee?
I'm just fine, thank you very much. I appreciate you allowing me on your show.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. Anybody who wants to come on and give a funny, crazy, romantic, or whatever dating story is more than welcome to come on the show. So how's your day been, and where are you calling us from?
So I live in Apache Junction, Arizona. It's a beautiful, beautiful location. We are right next to the Superstition Mountains. It's beautiful here.
Okay, awesome. So how is it over there, like with everything just going on with just the climate with COVID and all that stuff? How is it over there?
So I actually live in a 55 and up community. It's called Dolce Vita. It's a beautifully gated community.
Okay.
But we haven't had any issues here. And in Apache Junction, I don't know of any. We also have a travel agency. One of my clients did actually pass. And actually, I took her in February. We were on a group cruise. It was a destination wedding. And I just met her in February, and then she died like the end of March. She did not get it on the cruise.
Oh my God.
It was good, but otherwise, in this area, we're like half an hour, 45 minutes from Phoenix. We're closer to Mesa. But there's not been really bad. It's not been bad, but we still are taking precautions, even though our restaurants, our bars, our gyms are open. But it's still taking precautions. You still have to wear a mask going in. When you sit down, you're good. You can take your mask off. But, those little sanitizer things are everywhere. And I'm always safe. I keep sanitizer spray in my cars. When I get in my car, I spray my hands and everything.
Okay, awesome. So that's not too bad. Our county here, so I'm like 45 minutes away from Atlanta, and it's not too bad here, but of course everybody's still wearing masks, taking precautions. I have an 8-year-old, and I allowed him to go back to school last week just due to just the social aspect. He needs that interaction, so I decided to let him go back to school. And the cases down here, I think we're not at the 10%, we're below 10%. I know they said, I think you need to be at like 4% for them to go back, but because he's on an IEP plan, they let him go back, which I'm kind of happy about, because the virtual is just, what I've seen, it's a nightmare for a lot of these parents. So
right.
I'm glad I don't have to be a part of that right now, and I'm hoping that it stays that way. So I'm glad overall you're good where you're at, and for overall I'm happy where we're at over here as well. So okay. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your dating story. What you got for us today?
So, when I was in my 30s, I was already divorced. I was a single mom. I had one child, and he was in Christian school. So I was paying tuition. So I didn't have a lot of money extra. So I was a spare, like a sub for a bowling league. And on that bowling league, as a regular bowler, was this cute guy named Jeff. And actually for 3 years, everybody I worked with only knew him because that's all I knew him as. We all called him Cute Jeff from the bowling alley. I didn't know his last name. I didn't know anything about him other than he was cute. So I would sub on that bowling league because subs don't have to pay. So I would go there and I would bowl and I would watch him. I always say I stalked him. So I'm not saying I stalked him like in a bad way. He would always see me. I wasn't hiding behind any poles, but I stalked him for 3 years at the bowling alley.
Wow.
And so then, after 2.5 years, I didn't know he was bowling with his sister. His sister was his partner because it was mixed doubles. And so his sister was pregnant, living in the lower part of the state, and didn't want to drive during the wintertime. So they called me up, asked me to be on the team. sure, I'd love to be on your bowling team. So now I'm like his partner on the bowling league. So
Wow.
So like back then I was really, really shy. And so all I could do was look at him. I couldn't really speak much to him. I would just look at him. So it got towards the end of the season. There was only 3 weeks left of bowling. So I told my girlfriends that we were going to go bowling, or I'm sorry, we were going to go dancing after bowling. So I told them, come pick me up at the bowling alley and look at them. Because that's all I did. I always just looked at them. They were late.
Wow.
They didn't come to the bowling alley on time, and he had already left.
Oh no!
So anyways, I know it sucked. I'm so excited for them to look at them too. So we went to the dance place, and as we're walking in, you know, us girls are all arm in arm walking up to the door, and he was standing there. He was at the dance bar. So, you know, I introduced him to my friends, and so he was waiting for his dad and stepmom because they were going to celebrate his stepmom's birthday. So he came in with us, sat with us until his dad got there. Then he went and sat with him. I, of course, kept my back to him because I wasn't interested, right? I had to play all coy.
Play hard
so my girlfriends, of course, are telling me every move. He's looking over here again. You know, and he sent a drink to my table. And then finally he started asking me to dance with him. So of course I'm going to dance with him. I stalked him for 3 years. I had this coming. So we've been dancing and dancing all night. We're drinking. He's sending me drinks. And I'm not really a drinker. But I'm going to drink the drinks he sends me.
Okay.
And so during the end of the night, like it was a slow song, we're dancing, his dad's dancing by us, and he kissed me on the dance floor.
Ooh.
I know, I could not believe it. I could not believe it. And probably, like, I didn't mention, but those girlfriends that I was with, they were all from my Bible study group.
Oh, wow. How did they react? I'm so curious.
Well, they just laughed. I mean, they were all either widows or divorced. So, you know, they knew. And I mean, they've heard me talk about this man for 3 years.
Wow.
So it's not like he was a total stranger or anything. So they were all right with it. They thought it was funny. So after that night, crickets. Nothing. He never called, sent a telegram, a message, nothing. So I show up to bowling the next week. Now, this is the last week of bowling before the bowling banquet. And he's like sitting next to me, touching my knee, acting like he's all sweet on me. And then crickets again. Nothing. No call, nothing. Didn't stop by my house, nothing. So now the next week is time for the bowling banquet. So my sister, she was the secretary for the bowling league. So and we had our team, I think we're like 3rd place or something. We were going to get some money back. So anyways, I told my sister, you know, I'm not going to the bowling banquet, and don't tell my teammates. Just, you know, take my money for me, my prize money, and I'll see what happens. And she knew that Jeff, you know, I had always I talked about this man for 3 years. So she knew what was going on. So she watched him, and she said the whole night he sat facing the door, and he just kept watching the door. She said he was all slicked up, and he just kept watching the door. And so I got a kick out of it. So I come home. I went out dancing again with my girlfriends. And so I come home, and guess what? There was a voicemail. He did have my phone number.
Wow.
I don't call him back. 3 years, and then I don't call him back. But he was being a schmuck. So the next day he calls again. So I answered the phone. I did have caller ID, so I knew it was him calling. And back then you had to have caller ID, and you had an actual like answer machine. So I answered the phone, and like he was, I missed you at the bowling banquet. Oh, did you? I already knew because my sister told me right away. So anyways, he asked me to go out with him the next week. Well, the next week I had joined our fire department, and I had just passed all the state exams. And that next week, so this is my first event going like just brand new on the fire department, first woman. So it's kind of like a big deal. And that next Saturday they were having, they call it a spouse appreciation, because, you know, you're always out and you're always missing meals. And so once a year they have the wives come to the fire department, and we serve them a nice meal.
Okay.
And that was next night or the next weekend. So he asked, well, can you bring a guest? I was surprised he asked. So, all right. So he came with it. It was the date from hell. It was horrible, horrible. Wow. We just got our food. Everybody's staring at me. I'm the first woman on the fire department. We got our food, and then the phones went off. We had to run. There was a crash not too far from the station.
Wow.
At the time, I had long curly hair. I had it all curled. I had on. We were living in Michigan at the time, and you never know how the weather's going to be there in April. So I had a longer sleeve shirt on, my hair was curled, and at the time I had long nails, natural nails.
Okay.
And because I was brand new on the fire department, I didn't have my own turnout gear yet. They had ordered it for all of us newbies on the department, but it hadn't come in yet. So I had to share with another guy who was about my size. Well, this guy always liked to keep his bunker straps, his suspenders, like tucked inside the boots. I don't know why he would do that. So anyways, the tones go off. Everybody's staring at me, like all the wives, all the guys, they're all staring at me. So I jump into the boots, pull up my bunkers, forget the straps were in between. It snapped my nail off. Blood is dripping. Now I got to worry about bloodborne pathogens. So I try to suck on my finger to get the blood off and jump back out, take the suspenders, jump back in the boots, pull them back up, get my turnout gear fully on, get on the truck, and I'm still trying to keep, my finger out of my gloves and I don't have Band-Aids yet for the bloodborne pathogens.
Right.
Anyways, we get on scene. It was a car wreck. We got to pull hose, blah, blah. It's hot. I'm sweating in that turnout gear. We get back there and my hair is straight. I stink of sweat and turnout gear. I'm still trying to now I'm getting a Band-Aid finally for my finger, and it was horrible. It was horrible. It was the worst date ever.
Wow.
I didn't think there was going to be a second date. We went out, we did go, he did ask me for a second date. We went out, and ever since then, we were like best of friends. He proposed 6 months later.
Wow.
Got engaged. 3 months later, we got married. I got pregnant right away. We had a baby, built a house within the first year. And it's been wonderful ever since. But yeah, the man at the bowling alley. So what's funny is, so every time, even now, up to this day, we've been married 24 years. And every time we're watching the TV and a guy's being a schmuck, I always scream at the TV, don't go to the bowling banquet. That'll teach him. He hates it. I think it's hilarious. He hates it, but I do it every time.
That is so cute. Oh my God. I love how that story, how your story just ends. Y'all been together for 24 years. 24
years, yep. And we've only ever had 3 fights. Like 3, one was like a major drag down, like knock them out fight. But other than that, after that big fight, and that was like, 14, 15 years ago, we haven't had a single fight since then.
Got you. So let me ask, I want to back up a little bit. So when you say that, you kind of, they're not stalking, I'm putting my little fingers up like the explanation. But like, when you basically were, when you liked him for 3 years, do you believe in manifestation or no? Do you believe in that at all?
I actually do. Your mind is very powerful. So yes, I do totally believe in that.
Do you believe that played a part in why you're with him today, or how do you think that all came together? And then also
what I didn't know for those 3 years is when he joined that bowling league, his wife had just passed. He used this league as like a diversion for him. So his wife was only 24 years old. She got leukemia and she passed very quickly.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was just devastated, and I never knew that. I didn't know it until after we actually started dating.
Wow.
So I believe he needed those 3 years for healing, but he did date this one gal, and it's pretty funny because he dated her before me, obviously.
Yeah.
But I had this other group of friends, and we had went to Chicago for a Jimmy Buffett concert. And so it was like a weekend long event. and she's a mutual friend of one of my girlfriends. I didn't know that. And of course, why would we know? You know, she's dating this man that I didn't know, and she never talked about him.
Yeah.
And so while we were still dating that first year, on New Year's Eve, we were all going out to a New Year's Eve party. And it was like a fancy one, and you had to, you know, buy these tickets way before because it sells out. And so she comes with a mutual friend, and I'm introducing him, and like I could see he's like, his face is all weird. And I'm introducing him, no, Jeff, this is Tracy. And he's like, we've met, you know, and he's like grinding his teeth. And I'm like, that. And I'm looking at her, and she's got the strange look on her face too. And so I'm trying to figure this out, like, why are they both acting that way? And then he's like turned and like was trying to whisper to me, we've already met, but I'm gonna need more beer. And so now I'm thinking like, what? And so I'm looking at her, and I said, you guys know each other already? And she's like shaking her head like she's not happy. And then it dawned on me,
wow,
that's Tracy. And they're both like cringing because she like wasn't nice to him. And in fact, just months ago, she sent him a message apologizing for her behavior.
Wow.
Which of course I control his account. So I responded back and forgave her.
Wow. Okay. Got you. Wow. Okay. So as far as the 3 years, like what do you think kind of got him interested in you? Like when you think back, or has he expressed it to you? Like just in case somebody might be in the same predicament and they're just trying to like, what do you think the key was for you? And then also how did you guys maintain 24 years? Like what did you learn from that?
So, you know, his first wife passed away. And I always say she trained him very well because he was already like, I didn't have to do much training for him. He came well trained, but he says, I was trained before her.
Wow.
But so anyways, like I said, I was divorced. So we both had separate experiences. So we both really just appreciate, and we get along very well. We don't nitpick, and, you know, we just each treat each other very respectfully. Like neither of us go out or like are never like, we don't account. We just always, the other knows where the other's at.
Okay.
We have a mutual respect for each other, and we treat each other like we would want to be treated. So I don't ever worry about him stepping out.
That's awesome.
And he's the same, you know, when we just always express our appreciation for each other. And I always try to do nice things for him, and he always tries to do nice things for me.
I think that's awesome. That's awesome. So y'all have always had that line of communication pretty much down.
Yep, always. At the very beginning, while we were still dating, like fresh dating, like I knew like he was the one, but since his wife died, he stopped going to church. And that's important to me, to go to church and be a Christian and be active.
Okay.
And so I told him, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You have to make your own decisions, but I can't be with you if you're not going to be an active Christian going to church with me.
Wow.
And that's all I told him. That is all I told him. And I was serious. I'm not going to tell you got to go to church, because what's the point if you're just doing it to do it, if you're not a believer and you're not going to live your life that way?
Yeah.
He goes to church every week, and he's been in Bible studies with us. He is a very shy guy. He doesn't like to speak a lot. So I give him a break when we have like people over or out. I'll always start the prayer. He never starts the prayer before the meal if we have people over. At home he does, but not in front of other people, which is funny. I don't know why, but that's the way he is, and that's all right.
Okay, wow, that's what's up. And then, so obviously you're a woman who believes definitely in putting your standards out there for a man as well, for longevity too. And
right,
also
because
to make
what's
sure
the point? I told him pretty early when I knew I felt serious about him. I told him early on, because what's the point of wasting time or both of us getting invested in the other if we weren't evenly yoked, if we did not believe in their core values.
Right. Right, absolutely. I just know people drag things along and try to people please, and so that's good that you put that out there, that you made it clear the things that you wanted before you even continued, even liking him for 3 years undercover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I just always believed that, neither of us played any games. I wasn't like dating other people at the same time. He wasn't dating other people at the same time. Neither of us are into those type of game playing. And what's the point of that? So yeah, once I told him that, he didn't go to church right away, but probably within 2-3 weeks he did. And that was it.
That's what's up. Wow. That is what's up. Thank you so much for sharing that and just all of the insightful information within that story. So now I know you have different projects and things going on. That's how we got connected. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you have going on?
Okay, so I already let you in that we're travel agents. We own World of Travel. But since travel's really been on a pause, especially cruising, we're still working that business, but the main business we're working now is called the Life Super app. So it is an awesome app. It's packed with value. I mean, packed with value. So there's different parts to that app. It's not just one thing. So it comes with a lot of value and different types of ways to do things. It has a financial fitness. So if you're not real good with money and maybe you're in debt, it can help you. It teaches you, there's audios, there's recordings that you can learn how to manage your money. There's Rascal Radio, which is still about learning about money, how to manage it and get yourself out of debt. Then there's resort, deep discounts on resorts. So you can go to Cancun for a week and stay at a 4- and 5-star resort for less than $300 using this app. It is an awesome app and offers a deep discount. So it has thing or two resorts. That's what I just spoke about. There's thing or two travel, which you can get flights. You can get air, which is air is flight. Sorry, silly me. Car rentals and hotels. Then we have, you can, if you're a business, you can also, there's Zoom on there. You can get the business Zoom for like $13 a month, which is an incredible price. If you purchase Zoom,
very incredible.
How fantastic that price is.
Right, that's very incredible.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's prescription. If you don't have insurance and maybe you have a prescription that costs a lot of money, the prescription is, or the insurance for the prescription, completely free for prescriptions only. So you can get some discounts. You can save some money on that. That won't cost you any extra. So there's a merchant section. So this is awesome too, because when you go to the grocery stores, there's racks and racks and racks of gift cards for all these different places. And they sell that because they're making a percentage off of every card you buy.
Sure does.
So with this app, you can buy it and you get that money back in instant cash that you can buy more digital gift cards. So when you go to, so I'm a travel agent. So I use this app for that. So I'm going on a Princess cruise. Next year I got a group. So I can buy the digital gift card for myself, not for my clients, never do that. But if my clients have this app, they can buy their gift cards and give me the numbers and I can apply it towards their cruise. But so anyway, so I can buy the digital gift cards from Princess Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and Celebrity. And saving a lot of money on those digital gift cards, and I can keep rebuying with the cash back I get, I can rebuy more digital gift cards to pay for my cruises. But so there's another portion to that. So you can save a lot of money just on buying digital gift cards. Going through Burger King, you can buy a digital gift card. If it comes up, your order comes up to $33.22. You punch in $33.22 while you're at, she tells you how much it is, you punch it in, you buy the digital gift card right there, and you turn your phone around and show it to her, and she'll type in her numbers off the card, and you pay right there. You don't have to have, buy one for $20 and then have $6 and 78 cents left over.
Right.
You
Wow.
buy it for exactly what it is. Whether you're going to Texas Roadhouse, Olive Garden, you do the same thing. And there, you know, if you're using a waitress, wait staff, you put the tip in and you're still getting money back on the cash back off of that tip. Put it all
That's
in there, it's all good. So we have another thing, it's another portion, it's called the e-wallet. So you transfer money out of your checking account, your savings account, or off of one of your credit cards. So if you have a credit card that you get points for using it, you're double dipping because you can get those points and you're going to get the benefit of the e-wallet. So once you have your money in your e-wallet and you want to buy those digital gift cards, you're already getting that instant cash back. But when you use it out of your e-wallet, you get an additional 4% in what we call our DIV credits that you're going to use for travel. So we do that because when you use your credit card at any of the merchants, those merchants are paying a fee for you to use your credit cards. So with this app, you get that benefit back instead of Visa or MasterCard.
That's
So it's awesome. Yeah, so it is awesome. And it is a subscription, kind of like Amazon Prime or like your cell phones or your cable. That's all a subscription you're having. So what the cost is for it is you need to buy 30 trip credits. So a trip credit is $1 each. So you're spending $30 a month that's going into your trip credits. And you can pull those out immediately. If you're going to a resort or a hotel stay, you can use those immediately. They do not have to stay in there. The instant cash back is immediate. You don't have to wait weeks for a company to send you, you know, a check. You get it immediately. You buy, you know, you're at that Burger King and you spent that $33.22. You bought it off a digital gift card out of your e-wallet. You got all that money back. You can then go across the street to Krispy Kreme's and get dessert and use that instant cash back that you just got from Burger King.
That is awesome.
It is awesome. So that's the part for being a customer. So if you want to know, that's how you can save money. Oh, there's a coupon section. I use that all the time. And that's awesome because in the coupon section, you can also, so like Jiffy Lube is in there. And Jiffy Lube's in the coupon section. You go get your oil change, you pay with your digital gift card, you're getting your instant cash back, you're pulling it out from the e-wallet, you're getting that 4% dibs back. So you use the coupon, you save money in the coupon, and then you're saving all that extra using your e-wallet, buying the digital gift card. Yeah, so it's awesome. And you've already double dipped because you use that credit card that you're getting credits, you're getting points on it. So you just rack up the value and it's awesome. And those coupons, they're reusable. So like every Tuesday we go to Dela Cruz and Gold Canyon and there's a coupon in there for Dela Cruz. We use that every single Tuesday. The waitress knows, oh, got your coupon ready?
That is awesome. OMG.
Yeah. It is awesome. So we save money like any way we can. We use that app because it definitely, we save way more than $30 that we're putting in the credits that we're going to use for our travel. We save way more than that because we're using the coupons, we're using the Groupons, we're using, you know, all the stuff in that app. So that's for a customer. Now you can be a member and you can make money. So you can do it as a side hustle if you only want to make $500 a month or maybe a couple $1,000 a month. But if you want to do it as your main business and you work hard, in a couple years you could be what was called a life coach. That life coach is making like 40 grand a month. Wow. Not yearly, a month. Every single month those life coaches are making that plus. Wow. And so the compensation plan is very clear. It is not shady. This is no bamboozle. This is on the up and up. I know people who are millionaires from this app, and that's what I'm working towards. Seriously working towards it. So you can make a lot of money.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. It really is amazing. And seriously, it is no bamboozle. I know these people. They live here like Phoenix, Chandler, Gilbert area. So I know millionaires from this app. Seriously, literally. There was Shane Krauser. He used to be an attorney, a prosecuting attorney in Phoenix. And he was working all the time and never saw his family, you know, and he had young kids, little kids. And so he felt bad, he he loved his family, wanted to be with them, but he was working all the time as a prosecuting attorney. So he did this app, and within 2 years, he replaced the money he was making as a prosecuting attorney in Phoenix. This is his job, and he is one of those millionaires.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. You can make a little bit of money if you just want a side hustle and maybe pay, make your car payment or rent payment or whatever, or you can work it hard. It's all up to you. Oh, and we work on team approach. So you are not out there alone. You get me plus everybody up from us. So they are all there to help you because it's team approach. We all work together. We're all going to gain from it when we help each other.
That link to the app and Renee's contact information is also going to be in the show notes along with her dating story. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. And Renee, I want to thank you for coming on and just enlightening us with your story and just the little nuggets we were able to get out of it.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you allowing me on. It's certainly my honor, my pleasure.
Thank you for tuning in to today's show. If you liked this podcast, please download and subscribe. If there's anything you would like to talk about in regards to relationships or would like to be a guest on the show to speak on relationships or get advice, you can always connect via social media at Playing for Keeps or email DJ at info@p4kdating.com. Thank you for tuning in and bye for now.